Hey guys, what's up? So a lot of my friends have been asking me about what it's like moving out and being on your own. As some of you might not know though, I recently just moved out of my parents' house and I'm living with some roommates over in the apartments right next to MTSU, which is the college that I actually attend. And a lot of people have been asking me, man, what's it like? I'm thinking about moving out and going into an apartment with some friends. What's it like? Is it tough? Is it difficult? Or is it working out fine and it's awesome and you're partying every weekend? And my answer to y'all is yes to all that. Yes, me and my friends hang out quite often, and yes, we go out to social activities. And then it's also pretty difficult because, yeah, we do have differences sometimes, especially me and one of my roommates. And the only reason that we do is because we are so much alike. So the reason why I'm making this video today is to actually give you guys some tips, or better yet, 5 rules to live by when you're living with roommates instead of your actual family members. So here it is, 5 rules for living with roommates. Rule number 1, plan everything out. What I mean by this is that don't get with your friends and say, hey, let's get an apartment together. Okay, and then you guys move in together in 2 weeks. No. The roommates that I'm with right now, it actually took us close to 3 months to plan out exactly what we were doing. We had to figure out how we were going to split rent, how we were going to split the utilities, what was going to go in whose name, and other things like that. Food's a big thing. You've got to figure out whether you're going to do a community food pantry, which is what we call it, where there's food in the pantry, it's everybody's, and you just, everybody eats everybody else's food. It's okay. Or you can do one where you separate the food individually, or you write your names on it. Either way, things like this have to get planned out. I know some people who've gone in on places and had to break their lease because most of them jump out because nothing was decided on what they were going to do. Rule number 2, make sure you know who you're moving in with. If you were moving in with some friends that you kind of know, you could be in for a rude awakening. What I mean by that is that both of my roommates, one I have known for 6 years. I met him when I came to my high school and I started playing in the percussion section of band. And the other one I actually met in theater when me and her were in the production of Oklahoma. And it just so happened that those two are actually together. It's so cute. I put them together. They don't know it, but I did. But I've known those two for a long time, and I know the kind of people they are, and I know what they do, and I know what they don't like, what they like, things like that. They didn't really know a whole lot about me, and that's just because I was really reserved. But we've kind of come to an understanding. We understand each other a lot better now. With that being said, we're pretty successful here. We're paying rent, we're paying a bunch of bills, and we're okay with each other. We're not like fighting, we're actually having fun. In fact, you'll actually meet one of my roommates in the next video where we'll be playing a song, and he's going to be playing on a cajon, which is like a percussion instrument. You guys will find out later. But what I mean by that is just make sure you know what these people's intentions are, and make sure that they don't have I know it sounds really bad, but make sure they don't have like a track record of not completing things. Because once you enter in on a lease, that is a legal binding contract. You cannot, you can back out of it, but there are serious legal allegations that can be taken against you. So please, 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 please make sure you know who you're moving in with. Rule number 3, don't whine and pay on time. As long as you have all your money in place and you've got it set up where you're paying your side of the bills, you're good. If you're not, don't whine about it. Because if you whine about it, then that stresses out the other roommates. If you're having problems with the money, try and keep it as close to you as possible without letting the other person know. Because that just puts a lot of stress off of them because they could be having the same issue. And vice versa, if your roommates came to you and was worrying about how they're going to be able to make money to the end of the month, you're going to stress out too, which in turn makes you worry about money, and they're already worried about money, and then it just starts to do this really, really big, stressful mess. So remember, pay on time and don't whine. Number 4, this ain't your mama's house. Do I really need to go into explanation with that? Rule number 5, everything is a compromise. You gotta remember that you're living with roommates, so that doesn't mean that this is your house. It means that it's y'all's house. Or, for you northerners, you all's house. I don't know if you actually say it like that. you got to remember that you're living with multiple people, so not everything is going to go exactly the way that you want it to be. So maybe your roommate likes to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. Okay, you got to deal with it because that's normal. Or maybe your roommate has to deal with the fact that you get up at the butt crack of dawn before Jesus and make waffles in the microwave I don't think we make waffles in microwaves anymore. I don't think we ever did. Waffles in the toaster that has a super loud ringing noise, or one of your roommates likes to make coffee in the morning with an alarm. It's just like everything else, it just doesn't work out. So what you always have to remember is that you always have to compromise with each other. And there you have it. I know I can't really go far and say that I know a whole lot of stuff because I just moved in with my roommates recently. But these are the 5 tips that I can already pick up on these 2 months that I've been living with them. And to my roommates, if you're watching this right now, the cats made a mess again. And I'm pretty sure it was yours this time. Thank you guys so much. And I promise within the next week, I'm going to be releasing a cover of a song. I'm not going to tell you what song it is. Ooh, that's going to be fun. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. And I'll see you next week.